Hey everybody, PSV60 back. We're still in the campaigner stronghold. Still running into traps. I mean, I guess if you're kind of an evil overlord of sorts, you don't necessarily want people to come in and stop your plan. So it makes sense to have the largest, most trap-filled structure you can. I mean, with some of these I would frequently consider it to be a staffing nightmare, but I don't know what kind of pay the aliens are looking for, or what their reason is to align themselves with the campaigner. But the rest of his staff is pretty much entirely mechanical, so they can't really... I mean, they're not going to complain. All he's going to do is plug him into charge overnight, and his army's good to go. But moving on. There's a full health just in case you needed it. In case you didn't save that extra ultra health that I had. But then again, if you'd have been diligent at... Is that all that's in here? Yeah, just tech arrows. Okay. If you'd have been diligent in searching for that other ultra health, you wouldn't have needed to save that one from the sub area. But if you're just kind of running and gunning your way through the level and not really bothering to stop, you wouldn't have found either of those ultra healths. So it's there if you need it. And I know there's something waiting for me at the end of this hallway. Yep. But I'm not sure if the darkness at the end of it was just keeping him from spawning in, or if I just genuinely missed it due to the arrows, the rockets' strange arcs. And we can't get back where that minigun ammo is from this side. To be honest, I'm not even sure if we need minigun ammo. No. I'm sure we need some minigun ammo. No, not a lot of minigun ammo. I'll save it for a little bit. Gonna need some extra ammo with this, the respawn rate in this immediate area. I'm gonna choose to believe, rather than teleporting in new forces, the little beams of light are how they manufacture new robots. I don't know how I hit that guy off the floor from the cosine-like arc of these rockets, I guess. Now, if you'll have noticed, due to the clipping issue of me being able to see through the walls in the emulator, if I press my face up against them, there was a spiritual invincibility behind a false wall there. I didn't know it was there when I was playing through this. To be fair, even if I did know it was there, I probably wouldn't have taken it, as it's going to be a little while before we have any reason to go through a teleporter. It's in that wall on my left there. So if you're playing through something and you want the spiritual invincibility, hopefully you're not playing on hard mode, it's there for the taking. But that double speed glitch pretty well wrecked me last time, so I'm just gonna leave it sit for now. I guess technically I'm gonna leave it sit forever, because it's not like I'm gonna come back for it. Too close. Yep, too close. Well, one more sub-area portal in case you've missed a bunch of them so far. There is one more in the level after this, so even if you don't see that one, it's not like it's your last opportunity. Man, I really wish other first-person shooters, or at least other Turok games even, had that flying bodies mechanic that this one has, where if you hit something with an explosive, it just goes crazy. I don't know why it's satisfying, but it is. Now, up until this point, I had been under the impression that the increased darkness in this was due to a sort of loading restriction, kind of like how the fog is in this game and the fog is in the first Silent Hill. Well, how the fog is in the earlier levels of this game, in that the level just didn't yet exist past where the darkness was. But even if that was true for the beginning portion of this level, they're using the darkness as more of a difficulty mechanic now. And for one very special room, right here, they make it even worse. Because now we can't see more than like 4 feet in front of us. Hi, robot! So this room's going to be some very slow going. Let's not pick a fight with that guy. We'll go around the other way. I'd rather pick a fight with aliens anyway. They take far fewer bullets. Yeah, these pillars that are just kind of popping in, they don't look too far away on the map, but they don't show up in our field of view until we're almost on top of them. So let's just get out of here, since there's not really anything left in there except for some extra explosive shell pickups. We'll jump into another anti-gravity lift. Now, this area we technically don't need to go to, because there's not really a lot in here for us. There is another fusion cannon on the pillar in the middle there. That's really our only reason for being in here. If you'll take note on the map, we'll have just walked by a couple of hallways. They're really high off the ground, like up near the upper border of this room. And they're full of alien snipers. By full of, I mean there's one in each area. I don't know how that didn't take him out. That didn't even look like it damaged him. There is, in the bottom left, you can see, as far as I know, is the last sub-area portal for the level. I'm not sure if that was a one-time thing, or if the fusion cannon round not killing that red robot, I mean, doesn't even look like it damaged that red robot. I don't know if that means that if an enemy's hiding behind a wall, that the fusion cannon just doesn't hurt him. Not even hiding behind a wall from the fusion cannon shot, but just hiding out of your field of view. I mean, I guess either way is possible. I'm using that self-destruct animation a lot. I mean, I'm not complaining about it. It's a fun little animation. Just weird that it's giving it to me so often. Well, let's go pick up our fusion cannon at least. I mean, we've only used one round out of it so far. And technically we could use another round before getting that fusion cannon and we'd still be back up to full. But not really anything left in here to use it on. Now, you can see on our map up here, and you can see through the wall, that there's a walkway over there. But let's pretend that we're playing on a regular console and you can't see through the wall. You can see the walkway on the map, and you can see that little ledge there, which should imply to you that the false wall is not at ground level. And man, these guys are interrupting. Now let's just ignore them and book it through the wall. Okay, so back here, we're up where those alien snipers that I was talking about earlier are at. It's a lot easier to take them out from up here because you have some cover to hide behind. Though to be fair, there's nothing up here other than a few life force tokens. Meaning there's really no reason for us to be up here at all. And in fact, there was no reason for us to go into that room at all except for the aforementioned fusion cannon. I mean, we did bump our explosive rounds back up to 20, but we really weren't that far down on them to begin with. So let's instead move into a sewer system that is somehow higher up in the level than anything else, and right next to some sort of communications area. I'm not sure why to put a sewer system next to a communications area. But whatever. This immediate area is pretty well guarded. And the range on the fusion cannon is a lot smaller than I remember it being. And it does kind of appear that if an enemy's hiding behind a wall, or it's possible that the fusion cannon shot went too far past them, I guess. I thought the range on it was bigger than that. Anyhow, for one of those two reasons, the fusion cannon seems to have just completely missed those two robots. I don't completely understand, because I was always under the impression playing through that the fusion cannon's explosion range was fairly massive. I don't think that's an emulation bug. It's more likely that that might be a product of going to hard mode. Is just the range on the fusion cannons dropped a little bit, or rather the AoE on the explosion. Or it's possible I'm just misremembering it from my childhood. Considering that most of my memories of using the fusion cannon from being a kid were turning on infinite ammo, holding down the fire button, and just running through the levels using the auto map to guide me, Because when you're firing the fusion cannon rapid fire, you can't see anything. Now, there's not really anything more we can interact with in here. I mean, this was just kind of a large... I guess I'll call it an ambush, considering if you run right down in the center after that ultra health, you don't really... You're just gonna get shot up from about 4 different robots, and I don't think the aliens can hit you. So provided you're not greedy and you actually look at your surroundings a little bit before you jump into that room, you'll be fine. This is a bit of a strange room. Because it's this far into the campaigner's stronghold, he goes decidedly low-tech for it. You'll see how everything dips down into the middle into that pit. At the bottom of that pit are wooden punchy spikes. This is not a fight it seems we can win. Everything's spawning in ridiculously fast. We got 3 elevators, so let's take one of them. If we take these 2 along the sides first, they've each got some pickups up here, including one of the only fusion cannon ammo pickups that seems to be in this game. And then the other one pretty much mirrors it, except we've got explosive rounds instead of the fusion charge. Considering how much we're hemorrhaging health, and how close we are to the end of this area, now seems like a pretty good time to go back and grab that ultra health we skipped over. Thankfully, it's not too far back. That's a lot better. I was hoping to get through there unscathed, but 4 health isn't really a huge loss. Oh, well, there's a music change. And there's some torture? Looks like they're bleeding a little bit. It's not staying on the ground. I guess that means they were food. This is Tyrannosaurus Rex. Or more appropriately, the cybernetic Tyrannosaurus Rex. He comes equipped with that laser sight that you see, and is very vulnerable to the fusion cannon. He's not really vulnerable to much else, sadly. He's got a couple of different attacks. He'll keep running after us, trying to take a bite out of us. He's got that AoE earthquake. He can breathe fire. And he's got one more that we haven't seen yet. There we go. Fires some pulse bolts at us. Now, he's not too hard to avoid. We can just kind of keep going in a circle, and provided that we stay far enough away from him, he can't really hit us. The only thing that could hit us that he's got is that earthquake tail slam. And we can dodge that by just jumping over it. Let's take a quick break and jump back here and grab some ammo. Now, you don't really want to stay back here too long, because he can still hit you back here. And you don't really have anywhere to dodge to. Now, this doesn't seem like it's doing anything to him. A little. I'm still not a big fan of the alien weapon. Now, according to the Turok wiki, and I'm not really sure where they got this from, this T-Rex's name is Thunder. I don't know if it's a reference to the comic or not. This little walkway leads absolutely nowhere, by the way. It's not even really a good place to fight him from, since again, you don't have any dodging room. I'm not sure why it's there. Yeah, so Thunder. I don't know if it's a reference to a cybernetic T-Rex in the comics, since the only issue that I've ever read of Turok did not have a cybernetic T-Rex in it. I don't remember him being called Thunder in the instruction manual. It's possible I'm wrong. My Turok instruction manual is long gone at this point. And I'm far too lazy to look for a scan of it online. But Thunder's not a bad name for it, so we'll keep calling him Thunder. It makes him seem more like the campaigner's personal pet. He does less damage than I would have expected, actually. But it's time to put him down. And we get rewarded with our final Chronoscepter piece. Now we're ready to take on the campaigner. But we'll continue that next time.